Hey there, everybody. Today is Friday, April 22nd. Life never stops, and we have a whole lot of projects, and we're going to talk about some things today. So stick around. So here at my feet, we have just about everything I need. I actually have the last piece stuck in my pocket. So we have some tent spikes with bright colors so that I can find them again. Not that they're really going to be hard to find, but I like to use them just in case I put them down or forget one or two. I will notice them. We can plan around our own shortcomings. I also have some airline tubing or some air hose tubing for like a compressor, a nice sharp pair of scissors, some jute twine, and my constant buddy right here. I call him the dog all the time. His name is Pseudo. It should be pronounced Sudo. And if you understand the joke, comment. I'll send you a free plant. Anyway, we have here one of my apples, and some of these branches have been cut short artificially to increase their stiffness. But some of these guys are extra long, and now that the weather is turning and the water that they are bringing is no longer super cold, and we are mostly past the threat of actual hard freezes, I'm going to restake these and start training this tree again for the third year in a row. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of that process. So it turns out those scissors weren't as sharp as I thought, but what we're doing is taking these guys, and I have pre-cut with my pruning shears, the secateurs, just a slit. And what we'll be doing is taking these guys and wrapping them around a branch, and then tying the twine around this guy so that the branch itself doesn't try to absorb the rope. And this will also help to brace more fully. It'll grab more of a section of tree, so it kind of spreads it out. I'm just using this because I have it and it's really stiff. I don't know if you've ever felt it. Go to your local hardware store, try some feels, but first and foremost, try to make sure that you're recycling something. Maybe your neighbor got rid of a garden hose because it was getting too stretchy and it wasn't maintaining pressure, and you can recycle that and use that instead of spending more money and creating more waste. So we'll be back in just a second once we've got the first couple of these tied up, and I'll show you what it all looks like. So that tree looks a lot different now, huh? What we're doing is taking the central leader, which I had been training, and we are bending it over, and we also taken this side branch here and pulled it more into kind of a right angle. We've been selecting some of these branches for particular angles. Math comes into play a little bit, so you can see the L shape as opposed to a V shape, and that's what we want. Not only does it pool the growth hormones further towards the growing tips, which prevents upward growth and instigates fruit growth. And by bringing the main growing tip down, not only do I have an opportunity to select which of these I'm going to keep going, but it will also prevent the oxen from suppressing lateral growth on all of these guys. So we should see a significant difference in the growth habit this year. Some of my considerations when I'm doing this, I'm using an 8-pound string. I want a somewhat weak string. It's a jute hemp 8-pound test. I want the rope to break before the branch does. So if there's any serious heaving or anything, the branches are spared so that I don't get a split right down the middle. Math is important, and I'm not great at it. So that's the tree. Let me show you what other math I'm really terrible at. So these guys here are the newest addition of the flock. To the flock. And I had been living my life blissfully thinking that we had ordered, a dozen chickens. Manageable. Not a terribly small amount, but still manageable. We apparently ordered 15 chickens, and I no longer have any right to complain about anyone else and their chicken math. Show you guys what we are adding to the flock. Let me grab the sheet. So we got 2 Rhode Island Reds, 2 Barred Rocks, 2 Araucanas, 2 Black Sex-Links, 1 Buff Orpington, 2 Silver-Laced Wyandottes, 2 Golden Comets, and 2 Speckled Sussex. This slip has been sitting in an envelope on one of my kanji boards for 2 months, I think. Somewhere around there. I literally could have checked at any moment and actually done the math and realized what I had gotten myself into, but no. Blissfully unaware and not being observant. Lesson hopefully learned. So, these guys were actually supposed to show up today, Friday, the 22nd, and they came in on Wednesday, actually. And so, because the schedule got mixed up, right? They came in early. I had plans that were very time specific, and one of the things that I'll say is that since they came in early by the transitive property of algebra, I was behind schedule. So we've been building out a space that should be good for them once it is just a little bit warmer. And we're also building out a new space for Mallardy to have her babies in the event of Magica's babies being too big and possibly too aggressive, and we'll be monitoring the situation. I should have 5 more days of grace period, but these chickens, adorable as they are, have reminded me of my own scheduling shortcomings, and that I should work a little harder on it, making sure that I am well in advance of plans. But life doesn't always work out that way, folks. It can be a challenge for sure. And so this is inside the coop, and what I have is a few more measurements and cuts to make so that this platform here sits against that wall and can sit against that wall. So just a couple more cuts and I should be good to go. But we'll run electricity out to the coop. This here has me considering running a dedicated buried conduit out here and just putting some kind of outlet into the wall itself. But we've got our heat lamp here. I have a little bit more insulation to do, and we'll be fluffing up all of the bedding and adding more. This mesh right here is going to sit underneath where the litter line is and should prevent anything from trying to dig under. And this is the more secure section of the coop, separated from the doors. So we should be ready to rock and roll. Hope you guys are well. As always, thanks for watching. Happy planning.